What's up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Take 215. My name is Deja, and this is my dad, Ryan.
Yeah, that right.
Thank y'all for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Of course.
Follow us wherever you get your podcasts. We'll have all that linked down below in the description box.
And the Spotify, too. If y'all guys don't want to, if you're driving or something or at work and just want to listen to it at work, you can, do that on Spotify.
Yep, and that's free, of course, so you can just make a Spotify account if you don't have one and just click add that to your podcast, and it'll alert you every time we upload a new video. All right, so this is episode 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
We made it to episode 5. We stayed consistent with it.
Sir.
Yeah, I thought I was
1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
Yes, the 5th episode.
5th.
All right, so y'all know the rundown. So here's how it's gonna go. We'll recap the Eagles game for the week, do some league news, Sixers talk, we'll do some NBA talk, and then we'll preview week 11 for the Birds. And I guess without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. Week 10, Monday Night Football.
Yes, sir. Patty Mahomes and Jay Hurts.
Eagles 21, Chiefs 17. Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah.
That one was a doozy.
It's a doozy, y'all.
Inclement weather. It was one of those games, those tough, gritty games that are going to be more of those.
Wet, slippery balls. Yeah. Rain coming in your eyes.
It was very cold.
Yeah.
So one of those games where it's just kind of that true playoff kind of feel and
it had that playoff feel with the noise and the crowd. It was intense.
And actually, ESPN put out a statement yesterday and said that was the most watched Monday Night Football game in
history.
I think in history.
It says over 29
million viewers was tuned in. I was kind of shocked. I mean, I knew it was a Super Bowl rematch, but that game didn't even really mean that much because it's not like it was going to have implications on either one of us as far as like seeding goes.
Right, because we were out of the division, but it meant something to a lot of other people.
I think it's because it's the two best, what they're calling right now.
And so if 29 mil watched, some of them was Eagles haters, some of them was just fans of football, some of them was Kansas City haters. Yeah. I mean, for that many people to watch on that board,
Eagles fans. It said no, it was probably a
lot of Eagles fans. So it was a combination. But if that was the most in NFL history, that's saying a lot.
And since 1996, so it's the most watched Monday night game since 1996.
Oh, since 1996, the most watched game
with 29 million viewers. And it says that it was. The audience peaked at one point at 31.2 million, but I think they do like an average or something of it. So they're able to see just how, whether you click in on a YouTube video to watch it or watching a TikTok, they're able to see how many people
that was always
are tuning in.
That was always a question of mine. I wonder how they know how many viewers, but that's FYI, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So
I think it's the FCC. Okay. That's the federal I don't know. I think it's the FCC.
Didn't Eminem used to say the FCC won't let me be?
Yeah, and then
in one of the Eminem songs.
The FAA is, I think, the Federal Aviation.
Yeah, that's got to do with the air.
The FCC is the Federal Communications Commission. So that also, I think that goes.
Federal Communications missing.
Yeah, that's for like all communications. So I don't think
FCC. That's over the radio airways too. I think something like that.
Yeah, I think I don't think because that kind of monitors what you can say on TV.
Right. You can't be cussing.
Yeah, on there. Anyway, back to the game.
Yeah.
All right. So defense shut out the Kansas City Chiefs in the second half.
Nada.
Them 0 points. And I mean, and that was a good job by the defense and kind of just adjusting and making those second half.
On the second half, man, I couldn't believe it was 0.
Yeah, I wasn't that shocked because I'm not taking nothing from our defense, but this is the third time. Like Kansas City offense is not that.
But I wasn't aware of they would shut out the last 2 games. Yeah. But for them not to score none in the second half, our defense played pretty good. Then our defense kind of did that with. Did it do it with Miami or not with Dallas? I forgot.
It might have been it was like a third quarter shutout maybe for Dallas, but they
for Dallas. Then they came back. Then they came back. Yeah, I was thinking about Miami. Anyway.
Yeah, they tore us up in the fourth quarter. So if you look at it, Patrick Mahomes, like I think the weather and everything, of course, like had something to do with it. But he threw the ball a lot. He was only 24. 43 for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns and an interception.
Right.
And the what's crazy is like they were running the ball so well against us, which
Pacheco.
was shocking because I can't stand that boy.
Pacheco.
It's just, I mean, he's from Jersey. He's like, I think he's originally from Jersey, but it's just like after he runs violent. Kudos to him because like I heard somebody say like he run like he on fire, and
you know what though, they should be featuring him. I mean, I will bell cow. I will feature him, man. I know Mahomes like to throw, but I will run that guy until a defense proves that they couldn't stop him no more.
Yeah,
but anyway,
we were the number one rushing defense as of like he went to Rutgers. Yeah, he's from Jersey. He's only has 614 yards on the season and 3 touchdowns.
How much?
614.
Oh, see, they throw. They don't use them that much. They throw.
Yeah, they're definitely a throwing team.
So that's who they are. Andy Reid don't believe in running the ball.
When they were able to establish the run, I thought that they would kind of stick with him a little bit more. But like I said, kudos to the defense for making those second half adjustments. So he had 19 carries for 89 yards, no touchdowns. He had a long of 24. And then on the other side, DeAndre Swift had 12 carries for 76 yards and a touchdown, long of 35.
And I'm kind of pissed off with this and that a little bit. I know they go back and forth, but every time DeAndre Swift hardly didn't play none the second quarter. They always do.
They didn't go to game well, so I mean.
I know, but what I'm saying is, I just think they should. Anyway, that's just my.
Well, he's the reason we scored that.
I know, but second quarter he hardly didn't play. Second quarter.
Okay. Well,
if memory serves,
we went 3 and out every time, so.
Right, we went 3 and out.
You don't remember it playing much.
True.
We went 3 and out. So I think that was probably a big reason why. But we'll get to the Eagles offense. But right now, just sticking with the defense shutout. So we only sacked Patrick one time, but which just eats me up.
That first play of the game, though, that was
the tone setter.
That was good to see. The first play of the game, Hassan Reddick just came through there and just boom.
Yeah. And it's crazy because we weren't able to get to him none in the Super Bowl. So being able to just start that first drive off with a sack, I think it was a second down.
Yep.
That sack, that was definitely huge.
I mean, that was a good tone setter.
Yeah, it was. So Kevin Byard led the team him and Reed Blankenship led the team in tackles with 8 apiece, and then of course Byard had so shout out to the defense because the Chiefs turned it over 2 times within the 5-yard line. And the pick in the end zone and then the punch out.
And you know what though? And I want to give a shout out to Howie Roseman because Howie is teed off. Check this out, guys. The 2 plays, the turnovers that we got, it's people that we picked up this season.
We got Bradley Roby off the street, as they say.
Yeah, he was on the couch chilling.
Yeah, and then we went and got Kevin Byard from Tennessee.
And those are two people that help us win that game. So Howie's always trying to improve to fill the spots for the team.
When he sees the gaps.
Yeah, when the season begins, he don't stop. A lot of people saying like once you get in the summer when the season first starts, they just say, "Oh, this is who we got. We're gonna roll with it."
Yeah.
But Howie, he never stops trying to make the team better. Once he see what we need in the team, he'll go out and try to. And he's done it for the last 2 or 3 years.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has. So, he punched out, or Bradley Roby punched out that ball. It was recovered by Nicholas Morrow. So that took at least 6 points off the board.
That would have been the ball game.
Yeah, and at least maybe you can even maybe say 10 because the dude Christian Watson was kind of open. I think it's not Christian Watson. What's his name?
Watson.
But yeah, it's not Christian. It's Justin. Christian Watson played for Green Bay.
Justin Watson.
He was open kind of. And shout out to Kevin Byard because he got beat for the touchdown on the drive.
Yeah.
And because it was like a miscommunication.
He said, "Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice.
Yeah.
Shame on me. Whatever. Yeah, something like that."
He got the pick, so shout out to Kevin. And I think that obviously that was a difference in the game. We turned it over once, and then they turned it over twice, and then like we were 3 of 3 in the red zone, whereas I think they were
2 of 5.
2 of 5 because they turned it over twice, and then they scored. No, yeah, and they scored twice. So
yeah.
All right, so offensive struggles. We kind of struggled a little bit on the
Yeah, at the
offense.
beginning, it wasn't looking good at the beginning.
Yeah, I think just knocking off a little bit of, obviously both teams went 3-0 to start the game, coming off that bye week, probably a little bit of rust and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But obviously the weather had, I think, implications on both sides of the ball.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
but we still were able to find a way to win. So Jalen Hurts was 14 of 22, only 150 yards passing and one pick, sacked 5 times. But that was not on him. He really didn't have time to really do much at all
No.
or stepping into any throws. But he did rush for 29 yards. So he rushed for over 100, which was us getting kind of back to
Yes. I
us.
like it. Seemed like no, 9 times out of 10, if you rush over 100 yards, it seems like you can win the game. So I was
Yeah.
happy that. And how now? What was? I know this is kind of off. What's how many times did we rush and how many times did we pass? That's always a
We only
big thing
passed the
for
ball
me.
22 times and we ran it 27. And that's the type
See,
of
balance, man. I love that.
yeah, and we were pretty balanced last week or week before against
Yeah,
Dallas.
against Dallas.
But
Yeah.
this one with that weather and the way that it was, you just kind of had to. And they were. This was the worst game our O line has played. But shout out to Chris Jones and the Chiefs defensive line because I think it's crazy because this is the best defense that Patrick Mahomes has ever had, but the offense is just not
Yeah,
able to get
and
anywhere.
you know what though? They did a lot of safety blitz. I mean, they was
Spags.
blitzing the heck
Yeah.
out of us.
I ain't never seen 20. I ain't never seen like a number like 22, which is definitely Miss McDuffie was his name, which is a defensive back's number in the back
Yes.
in the backfield so much.
Blocking, tipping balls. He was
Yeah.
just all over
They
the
just
place.
sit in the house. But kudos also to the offense for adjusting to that. We started running more screen passes.
But
We
those
started
bubble passes, yeah.
just check downs to
Yep.
Swift. So we
Yep.
were able to kind of get.
And then a lot of times we went 3-and-out, and them bubble passes didn't work, but we had to stick with that.
Yeah.
And then finally,
the O-line had to get it together.
Yep. And finally, after we done those bubble passes, and then Swift broke one in the third quarter.
Yeah. And also, I
Or
think
maybe it was the fourth. I think it might have been the fourth quarter. One finally broke.
yeah, and also it was just, it's Arrowhead. It was so loud.
It was noisy, man. It was loud in that piece.
Yeah, it was so loud in there, and they couldn't really were doing the silent count, and then Jalen trying. I was so funny. He was doing. They do like the silent snap count, and Jalen was trying to change something, and Kelsey was like,
"Yeah." He turned around. We going that way.
Yeah. And they were laughing. They were like, "It was that design, or was that them?" Jalen saw something he didn't like, and Jason was like, "No,
we still going over here."
Yeah, because it's like he said, and I was watching a little bit of their podcast this morning. He was like, "You can't hear." And we having to do the snap count, and I'm having to turn around to see because because Jason's job is to make sure that everybody, the O line, is on the same page that he's on. So
he a beast, man. I love that dude.
Yeah, he is. The way he just threw, I don't know who it was when DeAndre Swift got the 35-yard run.
Yeah.
The way he just manhandled and threw one of them DBs to the ground, was like, get out of here. So. Yeah, I think Tyreek Hill tweeted. He was like, "Jason Kelsey make playing center look fun."
Yeah.
But anyway, so we were able to get it going. I'm not too concerned about the offense. Devontae Smith had his second 99-yard game. He said that it upsets him. He said, "I'd rather have 98 or 97 yards than keep finishing with 99."
Yeah, but I like this guy. So they just like we was double teaming, triple teaming Kelsey. They was doing the same thing to AJ Brown.
Yeah, we took Kelsey out the game, and then
they took AJ out the Brown.
AJ Brown had one reception for 8 yards.
But Devontae Smith,
that's why
I want to give a shout out to you, bro, because you played your tail off, and you was catching everything that he do to you.
Yeah, and that's where that you have to have a
good number 2.
Yeah, because I rewatched a little bit of the game last night, and you could see just you got two. Like sometimes, like 3 people would be over by AJ, so you had like 2 DBs. He's getting double teamed, and the safety would come over to help, but then that will leave Devontae Smith 1-on-1, and he gonna make those catches. And so that's why it's so important, like having a number 2 like that. Because look, on the flip side of the ball, Travis Kelsey was only. I mean, he did have a touchdown, but it was just a 4-yard score. Travis Kelsey was 7 receptions on 44 yards. For 1 touchdown, but and nobody else did anything else.
Right.
So I think that. I think that is just what is the difference maker. You gotta have. We took Travis out the game, and they didn't really have an answer, and then they took AJ out the game, but we have an answer with Devontae.
And guys, and despite all of this, now, even though the game was tight, we didn't have our tight end.
Yeah. Julio was in there a lot, and he did have a lot of
but Julio was in there a lot, and he made a catch.
But Dallas Goedert is the our three-headed
He
monster.
sure
Make no
is. And
mistake.
but then again, we can't make excuse for injuries because everybody have.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that's just, and they were just saying, like, kudos to the Eagles because
For even winning that game without Dallas Goedert.
And you know, like, I mean, I know Dallas Goedert is a good tight end, but you start to realize it, and he's just a good all around tight end. Where Travis Kelce is more of he's a receiver.
And guess what though? And there was on Jalen Hurts a lot. But see, Dallas Goedert is an excellent blocker
That's
too.
And
so if he was there help blocking, it wouldn't have been like that.
That's what I was saying. So yeah, we normally run a 2 tight end set. Yeah. And we weren't able to do that. I think Jack Stoll or was it Grant Gallicatera?
And then he went out with a foot or something.
So we were just having one. We started the game with 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. But Dallas Goedert is such like Travis Kelce don't really block that much. He's a receiver. He's a receiving tight end.
Right.
Whereas Dallas Goedert can get
because we run the ball. And guys, I want to say this too. Kudos and shout out to the Eagles again because this is the first time this year they ran the 4 wide receiver set. They practiced it a few, but when Dallas was out, they practiced it last week. But this is the first time they ran the 4.
Who's the 4?
They ran the 4 wide receiver set all game long.
No, when they started, they had when they did the starters, it was Julio.
But most of the game, I looked back and watched the game.
Because one got hurt.
I know, but right. But after Katera went back out, but most of the time I watched the game, it was a 4 wide receiver set.
Oh, okay.
And most of the games,
it was Julio, Devontae, and AJ, and then the tight end. Yeah, I didn't ever, but you said
no 4 wide receiver set number 13.
Yeah, Lamine. Yeah, I didn't.
Go back and watch the game. They ran a lot of 4 wide receiver sets. They did trips on one side. Then a single wide receiver on the other side, or then they had 2 wide receivers on each side. They did a lot of 4 wide receiver sets. So anyway, to say this about that, the Eagles really don't do that. They really don't do 4 wide receivers.
We even had back when we had Zach Ertz, we've always had it was 2 tight ends is kind of the game. But all right, key takeaway. What was your key takeaway from the game?
Hey, my key takeaway from the game is how they just stuck with it.
Yeah.
They didn't give up. When things was looking bad, they just kept on plugging, and kept on playing. And at one time, guys, it wasn't looking good. That third quarter wasn't looking good at all.
You thought we was going to lose very early.
That third quarter, I was concerned that third quarter. I got up and started mopping the kitchen floor.
That was second quarter. Yeah, because we was down 10 in the second quarter. I just I don't know, because it was the same thing with the Jets, how they were all week when we played the Jets, they were saying how the Jets had never beat the Eagles. And it was the same thing here. We hadn't beat Andy Reid and the Chiefs since Andy Reid left Philly.
And then Andy Reid don't lose in buys. His whole career, he only lost 2 games out of buys.
Yeah, and Jason Kelce had never beat his younger brother.
It was a lot of mitigating factors that factor into why I thought this was going to be a tough game for those guys, especially going into Arrowhead. Guys, that's a tough place to play. To be down by 10 with all that noise, and the Eagles claw back to win. That was just awesome, yo.
Yeah, even though it wasn't really going our way, I kind of had a feeling because history is meant to be broken and changed. And I had a feeling. I was like, I just think that we're going to be able to pull this one out. And then especially when we came out after halftime, we didn't score. We went 3 and out a couple of times, but I saw our defense was being able to stop Patrick Mahomes and co. So once we were able to score, I had that feeling. And this is just, we were blowing people out left and right last year.
But this is a different team.
And people got our number now. And we already knew this was going to be a tough game. And I think that I love to see, because now, like back even before Jalen Hurts, certain games with like Carson Wentz back in the day, we just weren't a team that could come from behind and win a game.
No.
So I think that like not last year, but years prior, we just wasn't a team that was able to come from behind. So I think
last year, I'm gonna start talking about last year because that's over with. So
who was your star of the game?
My star of the game. Wow. My star of the game. Let me think. My star of the game. Wow. Let me think.
It's Devontae Smith.
Yes, Devontae Smith.
Yeah, because that 41-yard to the pass that was It was actually a little bit underthrown, but it was a difficult catch to make. And he came back
and then he caught it over his shoulder.
He had to come back for it.
Yeah, because that would have been a touchdown. It was underthrown.
Yeah, it wasn't even. Well, I think he had to, because the MVS drop came from over the shoulder, but Devontae Smith was running, and then he turned around. He almost caught it like a punt.
Yeah, and he tracked that ball pretty good because he was running, had him beat,
Yeah,
and then he knew he had to slow down, and he tracked it, and he caught it over his shoulder and sat down.
Yeah. So Devontae Smith definitely started the game.
Yes, but no, I don't even know what I was thinking. Devontae Smith. Yeah.
I mean, I want to shout out Kevin Byard too, because
I was about to say Byard, but Devontae Smith had more impact on the game.
Yeah,
I don't know, but that turnover, I don't know.
Him just because he got beat on something very, very similar. Well, it was definitely a miscommunication. Only been with the team for less than a month, so
he's getting better, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he was over. He was just he left Watson wide open when Watson scored that first touchdown.
Because he was confused when he went that way.
Yeah, he went to Travis Kelce just draws so much attention, so that's that Travis Kelce factor. But yeah, he was able to the next time he came back and he was able to make and Patrick Mahomes stared Watson down, so the buyer ran the route basically for him. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, definitely between Byard and Devontae Smith, but Byard gets that honorable mention. All right, so let's move into some league news.
Yes.
In the NFL. All right, about time. Steelers fire offensive coordinator Matt Canada. It has been long overdue.
Woo! Their offense, guys, is anemic.
For Matt Canada had been the offensive coordinator since 2021 for Pittsburgh. Listen to these numbers. It's been very bad.
Anemic.
So points per game, they were 17.9, which is 28th in the league. Yards per game, only 310, which is 28th in the league. Yards per play, only 4.8, which is 30th in the league. Keep in mind, there's only 32 teams, y'all. Red zone percentage, 52%, which is 27th in the league.
Yes.
And first down percentage is 37%, which is 30th in the league. So they are bottom 3 or 4, maybe, in all offensive categories.
And Matt, I know you happy that guy's gone.
So Mike Tomlin, they kind of asked him about it, said I have a lot of respect for Matt personally and professionally. It was not easy, but it was necessary.
It was necessary.
Yes. He said this is a result-oriented business, and to be short, the improvements were not rapid enough or consistent enough for us to proceed. He said the leadership is lonely. I don't run from it. I run to it. It was mine and mine alone.
Who said that?
Mike Tomlin.
He said leadership ain't what? Say that one more time.
He said leadership is lonely because they asked him who made the call to Matt Canada. Ooh. So he said leadership is lonely. I don't run from it. I run to it. It was my call and mine alone.
He kept it straight hood. I don't run from it. I run to it. He was hood with that. So, and maybe when we make decisions, we shouldn't run from it. We need to run to it. The Mike Tomlin effect.
Yes. Shout out to Mike Tomlin because Mike Tomlin is just literally, I feel like, the best coach in the NFL and has been for a long time. Obviously, Bill Belichick is him, and what Tom Brady did is crazy and it can't be repeated. But I think we see a lot of that was due to Thomas, not Bill. However, I think Mike Tomlin, he's never had a losing season. He
almost but never.
Very seldom has he missed the postseason. I'm not.
He missed the postseason last year.
Yeah, he did, but I think they had an even record. I think they ended even.
Like that was 8-8. It was 500.
Like that, yeah. But he's never had a losing season, and he has won consistently with spare parts. Like ever since Ben Roethlisberger has left, it's been spare parts.
But you know, but what I think Pittsburgh made a mistake in is Pittsburgh, when Ben was on the decline, they messed around and waited too long to start looking for a quarterback. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but I don't think so because who did they have? Like they drafted. Keep in mind, like they weren't high enough to ever pick a quarterback in the draft. Let's start there.
Yeah.
So and like to pick a good quarterback. Let me say, like one that could take over. And so I do think that is why like they weren't going to bench Ben Roethlisberger.
I know, but I just think they should have done just like Tampa Bay. I mean, just like New England Patriots. When Tom Brady left, I just think, even though Garoppolo left, but I just think they should. When teams, you got to start like that, a quarterback. I just think we don't want to get too ahead in the future, but I think you have to do your due diligence to try to start.
I think so, but I think
grooming a quarterback.
Easier said than done because they didn't have they were always winning. So they never really had the picks to
I know,
pick
but
somebody high up. Hold on, number one. And I also think that like you said, you're not. If Ben said he want to keep playing, just how Tom said he wanted to keep playing, you're not. Even though the results were very different, like Tom was still winning. They're gonna let Ben make that call as to when he wants to hang up the cleats out of just respect for what he's been to the organization. But I also think that, but back to what I was saying, like Tom. It's easier. Like finding a good quarterback that's going to take over is hard. Like they were talking about that on there was another podcast I was listening to. It's really only 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the league that are consistently good.
Right, but I see what you're saying. But what I'm just saying is, and it might have couldn't happen. Yeah, but sometimes the teams don't do their due diligence enough to start looking for diamonds in the rough for the future. That's all I'm saying.
And anyway, to me, it's just like we can really talk about only maybe 10 quarterbacks that are consistent and that are going to always get their team into the postseason. Like it's very, very hard to find. And the Steelers were blessed with Ben for however many years. So
I'm not saying hard to find one, but I don't even think they were looking.
I mean,
that's all I'm saying.
They was looking. I mean, it's a professional football team. I'm sure they were looking, but Kenny Pickett is not bad. But it's not great. Right. And this I was just saying, this is a testament to Mike Tomlin, even when Ben was on the decline and the years after, he has consistently won. And that's just a testament to his style of coaching.
Yeah, he's still winning.
Leadership, to his culture that he builds. Like he has always had a winning team. With the Antonio Brown mess, like him putting up with that, like that just to me, I think that people didn't really realize what the Steelers were going through until Antonio Brown left and started doing them antics everywhere else because he was doing that.
I miss him though. I miss him. I miss Antonio Brown. I miss him throwing chairs over the balcony. I miss him getting butt naked in the field. That brought some excitement to the game.
That chair over the balcony was not. That he almost killed somebody.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me, y'all. I didn't know he was almost about to kill somebody. But
it was like a real hot pit out.
Yeah. I take that back. But I miss him staying with. I miss him going from the hood, staying with Tom Brady in the house. His life was entertaining to me, and he was a heck of a football player.
Yeah, and that CTE is whooping his ass. I'm sorry.
Yeah, is he banned from the league now? Isn't he?
I don't think he banned, but because he did a suspension or something. But he a rapper now though, so
he rapping.
Yeah, he got a song called "Put That Shit On."
Oh, now you know I don't do no cursing.
That's the name of the song.
What, talking about clothes?
Anything, your shoes, your clothes, and it's the dance that go with it.
Did he make it up?
Yeah, he was just doing it. Put that shit on. All right.
Put that poop. So I'm gonna say put that dookie on.
So yeah, I don't know who is taking over or what. I haven't really looked that much into.
They didn't hire anybody yet.
I know, but I'm assuming. Did Mike Tomlin call the plays? I think he called the plays anyway. I'm not sure.
No, I think the guy called the plays.
Oh, you think Matt Canada called the plays?
Yeah, I think Matt Canada called the plays.
And the Steelers are right there in it. They 6-4.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
The Bengals don't have no quarterback,
but they lost last week.
And they shouldn't have because they lost to a rookie who was crying after the game because he was even shocked that he won. I can't remember his name. The Browns. The Browns don't have a quarterback no more, or the Bengals don't. So the Steelers are in prime position to be in the number 2 spot in that division. And
they needed that win.
They did because it was they needed that one, and it was pitiful. I just think that, and I think that that's what did it because I'm sad about the AFC North because it was so exciting. But now Burrow's out and Watson's out for the season, so the Ravens and the Steelers are going to go to the playoffs. But I think that the Steelers, they have they're in a good position to just take over because of the 2 other quarterbacks going out and be the second.
And then the Chiefs might beat the Ravens. Still got Dallas, don't they? And the Chiefs, don't they?
The Ravens don't play Dallas.
Oh no, who?
I don't know who the Ravens got, but I know they don't play nobody in the NFC East. Okay. They might play the Chiefs.
I think they got the Chiefs.
Yeah, they might play the Chiefs. Which that'll probably be for the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Right now, with the Chiefs' loss, Baltimore has moved into
number 1 seed.
Number 1 seed. We're ready for the Bird Bowl. I'm predicting a Bird Bowl.
A Bird Bowl
for the Super Bowl. It'll be a Bird Bowl. Who's the biggest bird?
Yeah, a Bird Bowl.
All right. So speaking of the Chiefs, their offense is, I'm not going to say abysmal because it's still Patrick Mahomes, but let's say lead the league in drops with 26 drop passes on the year. Travis Kelce hasn't really looked like Travis Kelce. I know he had an injury the first week of the season. Hyperextended a knee or something, so he was out for a little bit. But do you think that Eric Bieniemy, him leaving, had something to do with the drop or the decline in the offense?
I'm pretty sure because I took it for granted too. When our offensive coordinator left, I was like, we'd be all right. But nah, it ain't been looking the same because offensive coordinators can adjust to defenses and things like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just ain't the plays that they're calling. Yeah. Is if a certain defense is playing a certain type of way against you, they'd have to learn how to adjust. And I do miss our offensive coordinator. I didn't think I was going to miss him, but I'm happy for Brian.
Yeah, but what about the Chiefs? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, they miss him. Yeah. I was just went around the corner with that, y'all. But it's the Eagle thing. But yeah, they do miss him.
Yeah. And they were always saying that's Andy Reid's show. And Andy Reid is the offensive mastermind. He's always called the plays. He does. But still, the offensive coordinator, like you said, is able. That's their focal point.
I think Andy Reid called them owners, and they didn't give Bieniemy a job on purpose until they won the Super Bowl. Andy Reid held them hostage.
And I think Eric Bieniemy will be the head coach in Washington sooner.
Oh yeah, just a matter of time.
Riverboat Ron.
It's just a matter of time.
Riverboat Ron is gonna make it. But I think so. Even though Andy Reid might be calling the plays and has ever since he was in Philly and before, I just think that it's something glaring. Now they don't have a number 2 guy. They don't. Like, you shut down Travis Kelce. And
that's it.
Everybody else got Butterfingers.
Yeah, they shut down Travis Kelce, and
because anytime you do it, you can win.
Yeah, they dropping balls and all that. I mean, they are dropping balls at an alarming rate, and they had a chance to They had a chance to get the guy from the Raiders, Devontae Adams.
Did they? No, DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah,
he was
good in that system too. Yeah.
And so,
like you said, that he didn't go, the trade deadline is gone. You got what you got now. So they were just saying,
and a lot of people think they don't have to shore up. I mean, but shout out to Mahomes with all these drops. He still make it happen.
Yeah, and I think we take that for granted. I think maybe Andy Reid or the people upstairs, whatever, it's just like, oh, we got Patrick, we'll be all right, And I do think that drops are things that can be. I do think that drops and stuff, those things can be fixed. But I don't know, because I ain't gonna sit here and act like that if MVS didn't catch that ball, that we would have won this game. I mean, it would have been we would have got the ball back with about 40, 50. We would have got the ball back with about 55 seconds.
Yes, but it would have been looking dim.
It would have, and we maybe because of the way that we weren't able to move the ball all game, would we have needed we might have only needed 3.
And let me recap that real quick, guys. We almost missed the extra point.
Yeah, but it still right now wouldn't have mattered because we won by 4.
I know, but they might have been going crazy and could have tied the game.
Correct. They could have tied the game with
a field goal. They might have wouldn't be in that much panic mode. But anyway,
went in. So
yeah.
But I think that I'm not gonna. If MVS catches that ball, we might be having a very, very different conversation.
A different conversation.
We would have got the ball back, and I think we might have only needed 3. That might have been the only saving graces. We might have been able to tie it and go into halftime, go into overtime, because they had 17, and if they would have got, it would have been 24. We would have only needed 3.
Hey, so, but they always say, "Oh, if he'd have caught it, woulda, coulda, shoulda." But guess what, though?
If it was a 50, we'd all be drunk.
Yeah, I mean, and if they said frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his butt every time he hit the ground.
I ain't never heard that one.
Oh, I thought somebody said that. But if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his butt every time he hit the ground. Yeah, he could land easy because every time a frog jumped, he land hard. That's why his legs is raw.
But like you said, we might would have lost, but we would have only needed a field goal to tie the game, and we had all of our timeouts, and we had 50 seconds.
But what I was going to say is, when I said woulda, coulda, shoulda, how about those drives we put? How about us scoring? How many straight points did we score? We had 7. We scored 14 straight points, and they didn't score anymore.
Yeah.
So those drives and that drive. So he to make a long story short, we made the plays when they need to be made.
Well, yeah,
with
nobody,
with the fumbles, with the interceptions.
and everybody, and I've watched and stuff. Analysts ain't trying to take anything away from us because they said, especially our defense, they.
I know, but just like they did in the Dallas game, they almost had it, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, because we gotta be real. If MVS catches that ball, we might be having a different conversation.
Yeah,
and that ain't have nothing to do with. Because Bradley Roby was like in bump and run coverage or whatever. So MVS is fast. He smoked him. He was passing. He beat him.
And he tall too.
Yeah, I know he's that tall. Yeah, and he beat him. But I'm just saying, like, realistically, he should have caught that ball. So,
yeah.
But this, and that's not to, we can.
Shannon Sharp said, "I knew he wasn't going to catch it when he went there."
Yeah, and two things can be true. Credit to the Eagles. And they should have also caught that, and MVS should have caught that ball.
Yeah.
Two things can be true. Yeah. All right, so moving on, let's talk about we got 3 games tomorrow or on Thanksgiving. Yeah, tomorrow. So let's get some picks or some predictions for. I hate that Dallas got to play I know Detroit. Why does Detroit play every Thanksgiving?
Well, that's how the league is set up. They've been doing it since the league started. Why do you hate that you got to play?
Well, why is it?
It's always Dallas and Detroit.
No, now it's why?
They made that up a long time ago.
Yeah.
Whoever started the NFL, they just made that up. That's going to be Thanksgiving games. It's always been like that ever since.
Yeah. And also because Detroit ain't been good in years.
I know.
So I'm thinking of every, it's an exciting primetime game, and we will have to watch Detroit get smoked. Now it's different because they're good.
Right.
I'm talking about, like, you would think that it could be changed because they've not been good.
It's been like that since I've been a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm curious. I want to kind of read more.
We had to do some research on that and why Dallas and Detroit play. But now it's 3 games.
I get the Dallas thing because it's America's team, but I never really understood the Detroit thing. But all right,
there's 3 games, right?
Yes. So leading into week 12, we have first at 12:30 on Fox, Packers Lions. The Lions are a 7.5 point favorite. I'm sure that's easy, right? Lions, gonna pick the Lions on that one.
Yeah. So Green Bay, right?
Yeah. What's Green Bay's record? 4-6. And then the next game, 4:30 is the Commanders and the Cowboys.
I got Cowboys.
Same, of course. We're hoping for the Commanders. I don't like.
They play at Dallas.
Okay, but I saw what Sam Howell did to Dallas last year I'm still picking Dallas. I'm not. I think that I hope it's a good game, and the Commanders get up to play Dallas, and they I remember what Sam Howell did to Dallas.
But that was at home. But Dallas just don't lose at home.
I wonder.
It ain't even a second guess to me.
I wonder. I don't know where that game was last year.
It wasn't in Dallas.
Are you certain? The game on the end of the year, it was week 17, and Dallas still had something to play for. But
but that was in Washington.
Oh, okay. But anyway, the Commanders, like I said, they get up to play Dallas. Sam Howell has been playing. Eric Bieniemy has had the offense playing fairly good
until after they played us.
Well, even if you look at Sam Howell's numbers, I mean, he was top 5 in passing.
Yeah.
So 18 TDs on the year, 12 interceptions. He got over 3,000 yards already.
Yeah, he's swinging it.
Yeah. So
Carolina boy.
Yeah. So we'll see. Of course, we know the Dallas is favorited. So
yeah,
and course. Then the last game, how many? Dallas is favorited by 12.5. So we'll see if they cover.
Yeah,
and then 49ers Seahawks. That's another. They're all these.
Now that's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a better game than I think one might think. Now,
that's probably the only one I'll watch.
49ers is a 7.5 point favorite. It's in Seattle though.
Whoa. Yeah. So
they can get to Brock Purdy, and Seattle's defense is good.
See what Geno going to do. We'll see.
We'll get into some Sixers talk.
Talk
a little Sixers talk. So right now, I think the last time we filmed that we've lost, I think, like 3 out of our last 5 or so.
Yeah, and then they lost last night to Cleveland.
Cleveland. That went into overtime. So Joel Embiid is okay. So this 2 years in a row, he's won the scoring title. And right now he is still leading the league in points per game. And I think that they say a lot of that has something to do with like all the free throws and stuff like that. But because you can't do nothing with him, you can't defend him, so everybody got to foul him.
Yeah,
they are. People get so mad because he's at the free throw line all the time, but they're fouls.
Look, imagine if Shaq could hit free throws.
Right.
He'd have led the league. He would have led the league in scoring every year.
Yes, and it's just because it's just the simple fact that Shaq wasn't good, at free throws, and Joel just has that touch to be a big man, be over 7 foot. He can shoot step back threes, and he can make his free throws. He can make his free throws. So he currently is. He is currently averaging 31.9 points a game, 50% from the floor and 31% from three, which is crazy. Like I said, for a big man.
Yeah.
And I don't know what his free throw. Where's free throws? Oh yeah, he is currently 87% on his free throws too. So
wow, that's pretty good for big. 87%.
Yeah,
Good
like
grief.
he don't really miss free throws, which is crazy. So we're 10-4. Now we are a game behind Boston. Still, like I said, really early.
It's so early. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Our next game is, I think,
but they got 60-something more games to go.
Yeah, our next game is against the Timberwolves, I believe. Yeah, we play the Timberwolves tonight. Timberwolves looking good. That boy, so Michael Jordan Jr.
Yeah, so
Anthony, what's his name?
Anthony Towns.
No, God, no.
I don't know. Anthony who?
Anthony Edwards.
Oh, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, was we playing in Cleveland last night?
No, we was home. We was home.
Wow.
Yeah. We was home. So, what do you think about do you think we need another piece? Because Zach Lavine wants out of Chicago.
Yes.
And the the Sixers were a contender or somebody that were.
I heard in the rumor mill.
In the mix.
We was in the mix of trying to acquire him.
Yes, but Nick Nurse and co. had said that they do like the pieces that they have right now, which I agree.
They got to say that.
Right, yeah.
They got to say politically correct. They got to.
Yeah.
If they can get Lavine, somebody's sitting down.
But somebody's leaving too, though. So
yeah,
I'm wondering.
I mean, because that boy's all that.
Yeah, I'm wondering who. I think that would be a piece that we would certainly.
We would have a big 3.5.
Yeah, but who would go? Because what's Tobias' contract even look like anymore? But Tobias, speaking of that, I'm gonna roll into the Tobias. He's averaging 19 points a game. It was 20 until he had a low game the other day.
I don't think Tobias will be leaving. I just think it'll be some of the other pieces that we probably picked up. The Oubres and the people like that, and the Mitunes.
But do you think the Bulls would take that?
But with all them 2 draft picks, I mean, we can give them all that.
And the draft picks, yeah.
Yeah, for Lavine, yeah, they get, yeah. We can make it sweet. Daryl Morey, he's a genius. He's like Howie T when it comes to making trades and stuff.
Yeah. And speaking of update on the whole Kelly Oubre situation, did you see that TMZ is like crazy? Did you see that TMZ obtained this man's, because everybody was trying to say he was lying about getting hit because.
And then Stephen A said something about Stephen A said something about that he don't think a car hit him.
Well, I seen because Kelly Oubre gave them where it happened, and then they said that nothing happened on that street after they watched traffic cams. But then somebody was like, "Well, this man just got to Philly. Like he I think he gave him like an intersection." And then everybody's like, "Oh, he lying." I'm like, "Well, why would he lie about that?" And then so much so that TMZ is like, I don't understand how they do it. They obtained this man's Ring doorbell footage, and you see him. He with his bike because walking into his apartment, his penthouse or whatever, and it's like he's like grimacing and wincing. It was like, I just got hit by a car. You hear his wife say, "What? Call up!" Like it's all this stuff.
So he got hit.
Yeah.
So what's the big deal?
Well, they said that he was lying, or people was trying to say that he was lying, so they were saying that but everybody is just like flabbergasted because like, how does TMZ get access to anybody Ring doorbell footage unless he sent it in?
No, TMZ, yeah,
maybe he did because people said he was lying, so maybe he said, "Here y'all go, I'm not lying."
Right.
Yeah, but I don't think I just.
So I mean, why would he lie about? So you think something else might happen? He got beat up or something?
If he got beat up, I would just say I got
jumped.
Yeah. Who ain't nobody out here jumping Kelly? I don't know. I think that because he gave he misspoke on the location, and then somebody put out a report. They was like, the dude just got to Philly.
Yeah. So Stephen A. Smith was on television and
I didn't see that. He said, but
yeah, something fishy is going on. Yeah.
But I don't think you have any reason to lie.
So anyway, when is he coming back?
He was at practice. He came back to practice this week. He was riding on the bike. So yeah, we'll see. All right, so we'll do some league news, NBA edition. Draymond Green.
Draymond. That's one of those names, Draymond.
Draymond Green is the blackest name ever.
Draymond.
Dave Chappelle said that on a stand-up, and I just can't unhear it because it's so black, but it's really not that black, but it's so black. Even a Green, Draymond Green. I don't know nobody white with the last name Green. I think Green and like Johnson. I do know a white girl last name Johnson.
Okay, no Green. Okay.
Green and Johnson are like ethnic last names.
Okay, Green and Johnson.
Draymond Green. But that ain't no worse than L'Jarius Sneed or Kadarius Toney.
From the Chiefs.
Yeah. L'Jarius Sneed took me out, especially the way it's
spelled. How about Kadarius? L'Jarius. Kadarius L'Jarius.
The L'Jarius is spelled L'Jarius.
I thought it was luxurious.
L'Jarius.
Luxurious Reed.
L'Jarius
Sneed. Luxurious Sneed.
Kadarius is not that. It's
Kadarius.
Bad. But you know, with Quan.
Come here, Kadarius.
With Quan, and we're gonna put Daquan, Zaquan, Taquan, Fuquan, Melquan. I know a Quan with every letter of the alphabet. I know a Quan with every letter of the alphabet in front.
Aquan, Dequan, Sequan.
I don't know those.
Bquan.
I don't know a Sequan. I don't know a Sequan.
Vquan.
I know a Duke. Obviously, we know many Daquans.
Tequan.
I know a Fuquan. I know a Tequan.
Oquan.
I don't know Oquan. But anyway, Pequan. Draymond Green.
Yeah. Choking people.
I'm so the antics. His highlights, his career highlights is going to be him stumping on people's chests, him putting people in chokeholds. What is wrong?
He can forget the Hall of Fame, y'all. There's not putting him in.
And he's like the enforcer on their team, so I get it. So Draymond Green, everybody saw the incident, and he put Rudy Gobert into a chokehold. He was suspended for 5 games. He was ejected from that game as well. I think Klay Thompson got ejected too. I don't really think Klay should have got ejected. But what happened was here's a part where I do agree with Draymond a little bit. So it was a fight between, I don't even know, Klay Thompson and
Klay Thompson.
Jalen something from the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
And Rudy Gobert went and grabbed Klay. You got to go grab your guy. Get off my guy.
Right.
So Draymond kind of came in, but I think it was just excessive. Like, pull Rudy Gobert, but you drag it on. It's just
so Draymond Green is like Mike Tomlin. He don't run from it. He run to it. Grab him. Come here.
Like everybody was putting the clip from Baby Boy when Melvin get Jody behind the couch.
And then he licked his forehead.
He's like, Mama. Yeah, call for your mama.
Call for your mama.
Oh, God. But
and then look, she said, and then he had the nerve to say, I'm going to the store. You want something from the store? And then asked that man, did he want something from the store? And he almost choked him out.
Mama. Yeah, call for
your mama. Look. Call for your mama.
All right. So, also in the NBA, Anthony Davis. So Anthony Davis has been, Skip Bayless called him always disappearing.
Charles Barkley called him street clothes.
Street clothes. Watching him.
Stephen A. called him Six Flags. Emotional roller coaster. He always up and down, up and down.
So, he's gotten back on track. Obviously, they played so many games, but he had 9 points, and they lost to the Kings, and it was a very winnable game. It was against Sacramento, and Anthony Davis got a lot of flack because Domantas Sabonis outplayed him. Anthony Davis played 35 minutes. It was 3-9, and only had 9 points. He was minus 13.
Uh-huh.
And so do you think that?
But Sabonis is good.
He is, but Anthony Davis is better.
Yeah, but I told you he's up and down.
He is, and it's just you
just got to deal with it. That's just who he is.
Do you think they're gonna be ready to move on from him?
If I would move on for him before LeBron leave and give me some pieces.
You can get one more chip maybe with LeBron.
Yeah, because I don't know if you can get one more with LeBron. I don't see them. Well,
it's not gonna be with Anthony Davis and the team that they got now.
Right. So I don't see LeBron now. This is me personally.
Because LeBron
I don't see LeBron getting another ring.
Obviously, the organization ain't gonna say that, so they still want to put the pieces around to milk the rest out of LeBron.
Right, but I don't see I see LeBron. He might go next year. He got 1 more year left on his contract, right? Or 2.
Yeah.
He got 1 more year left on his contract.
Yeah.
So next year might be his last year.
I just don't see, if you watch him, I don't see him slowing down.
I don't see him slowing down either. But that's why I would go ahead and trade Anthony Davis and give me some consistent pieces
to put around LeBron, just to see if you can make a run, because they're going to go to the postseason. But just to see, you never know. It's LeBron, like if
they ain't beating Denver.
Yeah, to make a run for it. But I just think the up and down of the play of Anthony Davis.
Yes, he's not consistent.
And they wanted to pass the baton, but it's not.
Suppose LeBron leave, they keep Anthony Davis, they're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, oh yeah, because it's not going to be.
And yeah, so if I was Lakers brass, as they say, I don't know what they call it, brass. If I was Lakers brass, I would go and trade Anthony Davis. I love him as a person and everything like that, but street clothes just gonna be in the street.
Oh my goodness! He just made it glass. Like I hate watching them play sometimes because I'm like, oh, here he go, he hurt, or he either hurt or he's stinking it up.
If he break a fingernail, he out for 2 games.
So yeah, I think if they would have maximized any of LeBron's time left, I don't know, because it's so hard because Anthony Davis is clearly a Hall of Famer. So
yeah, he
it's
is.
just I don't know, but like you said, I just think it'll be very tough for him to get back because he's doing everything essentially. He just broke another record last night. Like
he broke another what?
Record last night. Now he's at 39,000.
Oh, I thought you said Anthony Davis broke a record.
Oh, never that. All right. Let's preview week 11.
Week 11, y'all.
Week 11. Yeah. It's another Kelly Green night.
Another Kelly Green night. I love those Kelly Green uniforms, y'all. Yes. They are awesome. So, it takes me back to the days, back in the day with the Kelly Green. They came out with some like the starter jackets, the replicas, but they only selling them in the store in the Eagle shop, so that was unfortunate. But anyway, I had one too, but we won't go into what happened to it.
Bills at Eagles. Eagles open up as a 3.5-point favorite, which is not much because we home. So
so that's a pick'em game.
Yeah, that's a pick'em game on the little like ESPN analytics. They giving the Bills a 54% chance to win, but a lot of that is like betting. Like the pick'em, that's all betting. That's not even really like
right.
Yeah, but anyway, because it's still Josh Allen. They're 6-5. They did beat the brakes off the Jets last week. So Josh Allen is leading the league in interceptions. Jalen is not that far behind at 9 because Jalen didn't throw out the 15, and the numbers just don't look that good for Jalen this year. 15 TDs to 9 interceptions.
No, it don't. Whatever. It don't.
He still has thrown for 2,400 yards. He has almost at 2,500 yards. So he hadn't thrown for that many yards as of last year this time. So he's thrown for more yards, but he's thrown more interceptions.
Yeah.
So anyway, what you think? Thoughts? Keys to win?
It's going to be a tough game, and I hope it won't be emotional let down after that big Chiefs win. But I think they'll put that behind them. They're home.
I think the offense will get flowing a little bit better too.
And I think the defense, I have to say,
Josh Allen gonna give us the ball. We just got to make sure we get it.
Right. And it looks like the second half of last game, the defense found their way.
Yeah.
Even though they did drop a couple of balls, and even if he would have caught that last pass, overall they played the secondary play pretty good overall.
Yeah. Secondary. I was watching something. We are now 28th.
We just don't have a good secondary, so I learned to live with it. Some things you have to learn to live with.
Oh yeah, we got a good players. Like I was watching Chad and Ochocinco and Chad Sharp and Chad Ochocinco. He was like, they have good players. Like they have some of the top DBs in the league, but it's just
we got some of the top DB names.
Well, the top DBs in the league as far as stats go in history.
But history, not this year.
But if you look at it, but you still if you look at picks and stuff like that. But I think it's the scheme that Deshaun decided. I think it's the scheme. We don't play man no more. We do not play man. And you can say, oh, that's because coming into this year, we have not played man.
Right.
Last year, what's the dude's name? Jonathan Gannon.
But guess what, though? It's something that we don't know. Because if man getting this beat this bad, why don't the coach change it?
We're not playing man.
I mean, we're not playing man.
Yeah.
And so if zone getting this beat that's bad, why didn't the coach Sirianni change it?
Oh, it's not Sirianni. It's Sean Desai. But
I know, but he's
not just going to say, you need to do this since that's not how you lead. Like, he's going to let Sean Desai figure it out and, and do his own thing. And I think that's the type of coverage Sean called in Seattle.
Well, sometimes I used to let y'all figure it out until I seen y'all couldn't get it. Then I said, y'all need to do it that way.
You're a parent and not that man. That's not how that's going to go. Okay. Like, you can't. But I do think, of course, there's leadership and things like that. But I don't think Nick Sirianni is going to walk in and say, "You not doing this no more." This is, So and I mean, we're 9-1, so we have been winning. But 28, that secondary, we can be had. I just wish.
I tell you what, if it just continues all year, some changes got to be made. I'm sorry.
But I think that
for a defensive coordinator, if this goes on all year long, I'm not gonna say
because
don't.
I want you to know right now that if we end the year 13-4, and
They're not gonna
they're not
change
gonna
it.
fire him.
No.
No, because you be stupid.
I don't know. Who knows?
You be stupid. Because it's still
No. We just be happy. Fortunate that our defense played better. I just think we can get a seasoned defensive coordinator that's better than one we got. But anyway, I don't want to get too far
I would
down
say
the road.
that on the offensive side of the ball, not the defensive side of the ball. I think if I had to pick a coordinator to keep, I would keep Sean Desai because he makes adjustments. There's been multiple
He
games.
did make some good adjustments
and get to Washington. Like I'm not. Yeah, if I had to take one coordinator, I would take Sean Desai. That's me personally.
Well, maybe we need. Okay, but somebody Navarro said Navarro. I was talking to Navarro. Shout out to Navarro, Ocala, Florida. He said, Ryan. He said you need to look at the DB coach too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's multiple aspects.
Yeah, he said not to do because the defensive coordinator got a lot of stuff going on.
The defense as a whole,
right? But the DB coach.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, it's the players," because these are the very same players besides Gardner Johnson and Avonte Maddox, which he was hurt last year. So we have the same core.
I don't know about him no more.
I think they're gonna move on from him.
Yeah,
we got the same. Core on the outside, the same pair on the outside, and Reed Blankenship played a number of snaps last year because of the absences. And I think Kevin Byard. I mean, we'll see. I hope it can only go up from here.
Yeah, and then he's getting
better and learning.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Because Josh Allen, he gonna eat that secondary up. So
who don't?
If that's what I'm saying. But Patrick didn't do a number on him. I will say he only threw.
I know, but everybody else did.
Yeah, he only threw for 100.
But Dallas, the Washington, everybody else do numbers on that secondary. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if he.
You would think that Patrick Mahomes would have, but he didn't. I think inclement weather, a lot of those things.
And then wide receiver drops. Yeah, too.
But Josh Allen still is the best quarter. As far as numbers,
so I wouldn't be surprised if he torched our secondary at all. I just learned to live with it.
I think that you have to get to him. If you can get to him and get him outside the pocket, that's when he makes a lot of mistakes. I know our front can, so we'll see. But I already know that he's gonna throw all over them boys. All right, so you think this will be a high scoring game or a defensive battle?
I'm not for sure. I'll say it in the 20s. But I'm looking for AJ to have a breakout game this game. I don't think Buffalo gonna put 3 people on them.
No, because they have a lot of their top I can't think of his name. Zadarius Smith or so. He hurt, but anyway, their best corner is hurt, or their best DB is hurt.
He's not going to be playing next week.
Well, he on IR. Their best DB is
okay.
So, but anyway, we'll see what happens.
So I think I'm gonna pick. You said what the game going to be? I'll pick it in the 20s.
I think it's gonna be like a 38-35.
I'll say 20. I'll say
because neither defense is that good.
No, I'll say 28. I'll say 28-21 Birds.
All righty. I'm not going to give a number because I'm superstitious.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be in the 20s. Well, I'm not really superstitious. Well, I'm not superstitious, but I think it'll be in the 20s. I'll say 28-21. All
right. Well, we'll see. That game is going to be Sunday.
Hopefully.
4:25 on CBS. It'll be on TV, which is nice. And that about wraps up episode 5. We want to thank all of y'all for tuning in, sticking with us. And you got anything to say to the people?
Well, people, I appreciate you, people. And
people,
I appreciate you people. And I appreciate y'all guys for tuning in. I appreciate the likes, the subscribes. And I want to give a shout out to Dwight Williams, my homie down in Wallace. I appreciate you, what you did for me, homie. Never gonna forget you. Dwight Williams, my boy.
All right, y'all. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. My name is Deja. This is my dad, Ryan. We will take 2 on 5. And go Birds.
Peace.